Hey there, River Rika here, reporting for duty on a trigger. Thank you for shuffling states of emergency into adoption spirit with me and steering clear of danger. Heartily, we are grateful. So we tried to do a live and there was poor connectivity, so we're just going to do a video instead. And I've taken some time to meditate on our cards and say some prayers, and I'm going to light a little extra sage to clear the space. And we're doing a new moon reading in Aquarius. And it's at 1.32 degrees in Aquarius, I believe, or close to 2 degrees. And this is talking about new starts, new beginnings. And it could possibly be as big as closing out old Earth and bringing in the new Earth. So many of us are light workers and star seeds and have been engaged in the dismantling and rebuilding. Or it could be as simple as starting a new diet or a new workout routine. And so for every person, it's different. And also Venus is conjunct Saturn in Aquarius at 24 degrees, which also brings relationships to yourself and others, how you feel about yourself, your self-worth, your relationship with others, your relationship to your finances and your financial security. And then tomorrow, Uranus is the final planet to turn direct in Taurus at 14.56 degrees, and that's going to offer us some more support to ground in our new beginnings. So it's very exciting times. I'm learning as well. And so we're going to see what comes up in the cards today. We're going to roll the dice and pick one of these 6 decks, and then I have an extra for a bonus. But before we begin, a little disclaimer: while I am a fortune teller, what I share does not dictate your future. Only your intentions and actions do. So please use your gift of discernment before deciding what to take away. Of course, take what resonates and blow like a kiss the rest back to the universe, to cosmic compost, back into beauty. Some of it may resonate, some of it may not. And we are just having some fun and games tonight for shits and giggles, and flexing our spiritual intelligence, our spirit, our soul, our intuition. So thank you so much for joining me tonight, whenever you're watching. And while this is for the new moon read in Aquarius on the 21st of January, this shall carry through the next 3 to 7 days. All right. So, and it may even apply backwards for that same amount of time. So before we begin, I'm going to ring a bell and do a Thich Nhat Hanh bell mantra to further clear the space. And so if you're wearing headphones, please be aware there may be a loud noise, and adjust yourself. Here we go. Mind, body, speech, and perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Om. Peace. Shanti. Thank you so much. So we have 6 decks of cards. We have the Sacred Geometry Oracle deck by Lon, and we have some beautiful black onyx. There's 2 of them. These were fascinating to me. I got these from the Infinite Promises Spiritual Destiny. Oh, I think I mixed that up. Group. Judy Ramos and Nancy Bernardo, some of my crystal energy healing teachers. And here is the Sacred Geometry Activation deck. So beautiful, by Lon. And then we have some beautiful smoky quartz, which I think we picked up at Mama's Minerals in New Mexico. So beautiful. And this is wonderful for all sorts of things. I'll let you look up these yourself and reference 4 to 5 to 6 different sites to see the metaphysical properties and what resonates with you. So that's the smoky quartz. I might say that's wonderful for detox, and the black onyx as well. And this is the Cosmic Dancer Oracle deck by Tess Whitehurst and Sedona Soulfire. And these beautiful souls you can find online. I'll share their details. And here we have some yummy tiger's quartz also, I think from Mama's Minerals in New Mexico. Love this piece. As you can see, it just glides. And we have the Cali Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. And again, I'll share these decks and authors. They're all online, I think, for the most part. We have some yummy green calcite. I do believe this came from Cape Cod Crystals. You can find them online as well. And no, I'm not receiving any kickbacks from any of these folk. Just love to share other people's successes. And we have Souls on Fire. And you can check out Souls on Fire TV with MJ Cranmore, and this deck was made by her and artist Juliette Gilden. You can catch Mary Jo daily during the week and also join her different memberships. And we have this lovely twin quartz to help us work through our mother issues. We all have mothers. We all have mother issues. Some of us are mothers, and so we're working triple time. I know, my math, it's like that. So this beautiful crystal quartz is for clarity, but again, you can check on for yourself to see the metaphysical properties that resonate with you. In this lovely deck by Kiki Robinson and Ilva Droma Marzana Radzesuski, and this is the Living Altar, an oracle and spell deck for the Radical Witch. And I am quite thrilled to have all of these decks, but this one in particular because it's one of the only current Romany decks that is out and around in full circulation. So you can find that online as well, and Kiki and Ilva online as well. Again, I'll share their details. And you can find their Living Altar deck online as well. It's quite satisfying. And then we have this beautiful rainbow fluorite. And I believe this came from Cape Cod Crystals as well. And this is wonderful for cleansing and protection. But again, quadruple check. Look up 5 or 6 different sites on your own to see what resonates with you as far as the metaphysical properties for each of these crystals. And we have the Tree Angel Oracle, The Ancient Path into the Sacred Grove by Fred Hageneder and Anne Hang. Lovely deck. And just to introduce candles we've lit for Source, for Mother Earth, for Father Sky, for the homeless, for those who kicked them out of their homes, for the neighbors, for the passers-by, for those working against our spiritual progression, for harmony and balance, for the Archangel of the Day. I'll let you look that up yourself. For the ancestors here in the highest love and light, and for those who have passed by suicide, and all of the war-torn families, countries, nations, and galaxies. So we're having all of that support tonight. Some angelite, helping create a nice, yummy space for our angels who are here to help us. Some lepidolite, a lepidolite angel I adore. She's super sweet. And a beautiful amethyst point. I believe this came from Mama's Minerals as well in New Mexico. And Paramahansa Yogananda's cards, his paragrams. I have a feeling that this preceded or maybe inspired Instagram. Paragrams. Super sweet. And we have a beautiful rose quartz pyramid. And you can look up the metaphysical properties of pyramids. You can see it's quite a transformer. And also the properties of rose quartz. Lovely, lovely. Bringing in love, resonating love. And our crystal balls, our magic wands are in the corner. We have some beautiful garnet. Yummy for grounding. I love the shapes and the sparkles. So satisfying, hearty. And can't remember where we gathered those. And a Merkaba. And again, you can look up the Merkaba, its properties. It's a wonderful healing tool. You can imagine it around you, shielding you. You can imagine it around you covered with a reflective substance to reflect all the arrows back to where they came as unconditional love and unarmed truths. So nobody gets hurt. We're all about nonviolence here and peace. And this is Shungite. Shungite. So those are our helpers tonight as we look at the new moon in Aquarius. Pardon me. And we're going to roll the dice, this beautiful wooden dice, and see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 which deck we're going to draw from to receive our guidance about how to move forward minding our business in the highest love and light over the next 3 days to a week for the Aquarius new moon. And we have the number 2. Number 2 represents duality, helps establish healthy relationships, balances relationships, shares power, also represents pairing, helps create healthy liaisons, and allows us to partner up with people without giving away our power. The wonderful number 2. And for more on that numerology, of course, you can check your own resources, but I have been partial to Cindy Dale in her Subtle Body Anatomy series, and her Energetic Boundaries book shares about the numerology. So for number 2, we have the Cosmic Dancer. And we have this yummy smoky quartz. And so we'll give a little shuffle, see what happens here. Hello, may we come in? So thank you, Source and Spirit Guides, for helping us move forward in our highest love and light. Show us what we need to know to move forward in our highest love and light with this Aquarius new moon. Helping close out the old chapters and bring in the new, helping close old earth safe and sound and opening up the new earth. So many of us have been working so hard to bring in this new earth. So what do we need to know to help us move forward in the highest love and light? There we are. Thank you so much. And on the bottom, we have slow down. That's super sweet. Slow down. And the number 39. I love that. 39, 3 and 9. Some beautiful numbers. We'll keep that one out. 39. 39 is a number of optimism. And it is the number of creation. It brings beginnings and endings together. It ends chaos. It establishes healthy boundaries, especially for those who are susceptible to psychic or environmental violations. And the number 9, also beautiful, all numbers are beautiful, represents change and harmony, and it eliminates the old and opens us up to a new cycle. It can even erase quote-unquote evil. And by evil, I see hurt in disguise. Every time I look evil in the eyes, I see hurt in disguise, calling for the salves of unarmed truths and unconditional love. It's not always my turn to serve. And I had a little help from Martin Luther King Jr. with that. And number 9 also signals the end of a boundary problem or detrimental pattern, and confirms that we are ready to move forward to embrace new possibilities. That's super sweet, especially with this Aquarius new moon, and we're talking about ending old cycles and starting new cycles. And it's also with our last planet going direct tomorrow. Then all the planets will be direct for the next 3 months, I think. But of course, quadruple check everything I say. You know, when a planet stations direct, it's like it's been going in reverse, and then you put on the brakes and you switch the gear, and so there's a pause, there's a standstill. So you may be feeling like you're at a standstill and that you have to sit still. And so, yeah, you're right on track. You're right on time. And perhaps this imagery helps you just savor that and enjoy that. Looks like they have their magic carpet, and everything. And so what do we have? Honor the cycles. 14. And the 1 and 4 break down to a 5, which we talked about in our last session, and beautiful, the infinity, the 8 in her belly with the moon cycles, so super sweet. Whether you're masculine or feminine, you can relate, I think. And so honoring the cycles. Going into the numbers again, the number 1, it invokes the creator and initiates and begins. It puts your needs to a conclusion and puts yourself first. And it helps with victim issues that cause you to put others first or take on other people's energy. And the number 4, you know, it's like 4 on the floor, like your 4 feet of the chair on the floor. It signifies foundation and stability and provides grounding and achieves balance. And it helps us remain stable when others are pulling on us energetically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It helps us stay grounded and stabilized. And then the number 5, it promotes and progresses. 1 and the 4 break down to a 5. And that creates a space for decision making. If you're still on the fence about which way to go, about how to close out your chapter, or whether or not to close out your chapter, this number 5 is helping create a space for that decision making. And this provides the ability to go any direction at will. It also helps us from taking on everyone else's issues and thus becoming overburdened. The number 5. And the number 8, it breaks or erases cycles of relationships that have held us hostage or keep us bound in unhealthy patterns. It symbolizes the power and infinity and can be used to erase old and entrenched patterns or syndromes. And it also establishes recurring patterns and illuminates karma. So that's all about the numerology. Super sweet. And so now let's hear a little bit more from Sedona Soulfire and Tess Whitehurst about this honoring the cycles. The dance of the cosmos is cyclical. You are being guided to observe the cycles at work in your life. Perhaps you're seeing the result of something coming full circle, or you're in a phase that doesn't seem ideal on the surface. Rest assured that healing follows grief, and joy follows despair, as surely as sunrise follows the dark of night. As change is the only constant, there is no logical option but to embrace it wholeheartedly. Enter into change, accept it, flow with it, and even celebrate it. This is the path to harmony. Invite harmony into your life now by honoring the cycles of life. According to ancient astrology systems, we are now in the midst of a period called Kali Yuga that lasts 1,000 to 2,000 years. By nature, this is a cycle of destruction. Just as winter is the season when the earth is at its furthest point from the sun, the Kali Yuga is at a time when human consciousness is furthest from the divine illumination. And just as springtime's earliest flowers prepare to unfurl and bloom, even in the harshest winter weather, a renaissance of peace, love, and wisdom is now stirring within the hearts of humans in every culture and on every continent. Yours is one of these hearts. The very fact that you hold this card in your hand indicates that you are awake to the springtime of human consciousness and are among its earliest blooms. Even though it may be challenging to understand it in a logical or linear way, you may sense that the confusion and discord of Kali Yuga are necessary in the grand cycle of time. It destroys the old to make room for the new and brings what isn't working to light so we can create new ways of relating to ourselves, each other, and the planet. Fear, not contraction for it, leads to expansion. Fear, not the exhale for it, leads to the inhale. Fear, not death for it, leads to life. Like the Sumerian goddess Inanna, go deeply into the darkness of the underworld so you can emerge victoriously into the light. You can consciously enter into the cyclical dance by charting the moon, stargazing, planting a garden, celebrating the seasons, and observing the constant changes in every aspect of the natural world. To connect with the wisdom of this card, stand with your feet hip or shoulder distance apart. Place your hands on your hips or relax them along your sides and begin to move your hips in a horizontal figure 8. Continue this movement until you feel inspired, present, and one with the infinitely cycling wisdom of the cosmic dance. Notice how the moon waxes and wanes. The sun moves across the sky until it sets and gives way to the night. The earth grows green, then brown, then green again. You are a child of the earth and cosmos, and a radiant strand of this glittering tapestry of change. Pay attention to your ever-shifting feelings, intentions, and desires, and honor your ever-changing needs. Super sweet, especially at this time that we are. All of that. And that fear, letting go of that fear reminds me of a scripture. I'm going to ask you how to express it in your culture, but the scripture is Romans 8:15, and it goes something like this. We have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear. We have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, "Thanks, God, for helping us all." So I challenge you, how do you express that scripture in your culture? And it's just a different way to look at the fear and realize that we all are here to experience life, and that nobody is more than or less than. Nobody is superior or inferior, as much as we have may been led to believe the opposite. We're all here to play through life. And this grief reminded me of one of the 7 cards that adoptees and orphans, anybody who's experienced loss and trauma, they get dealt these 7 cards as they reclaim new life, as they adopt new life, and grief is one of them. And this is something that orphans and adoptees deal with on a daily basis when they're on the healing path. And at first it may seem super frustrating because, like, really? Every day? But then as we learn to play our cards through it more, it's like an old friend on our path, and we can treat it with honor, and we can look at the flip side of that grief and not react with that fear. So what are you ready to let go of? What are you ready to bring in? What is really helping you stand in your truth and honor your essence and your boundaries and help you maintain your integrity? Super sweet things to think about in this time of the Aquarius new moon. And that is all I have to share with you. Thank you so much for shuffling states of emergency into adoption spirit magic with me. Thank you for helping breathe life into adoption spirit magic. Heartily, we are grateful. Until next time, ciao for now. I love you all.